Another commonalities between the two of us is my background is in marketing.
There you go.
I'm curious to learn from you what you learned from P&G.
Oh, so much. I don't know where to start.
Yeah, I mean P&G. Does it not have a university of its own?
P&G, we
Or is
like,
it Kellogg's School?
I think each
Kellogg's University.
Kellogg's
P&G,
have it. Yeah.
Uh,
See, but in P&G is like
what is the marketing secret of P&G, if there's any?
as cliche as it sounds, consumer is boss. You always start. We always start with who.
Uh-huh.
You start with who.
But you guys are mass production people, FMCG. Yeah, it's often the number, isn't it?
No, not exactly.
Just
But
like your prison article, it's the number, isn't it?
it's also the numbers and the insight to it, right? If you look at the products that we have today, a lot of them are actually designed based on unique insight. And I think a good marketers, in not just in P&G or any companies, needs to have both the science and art to it, right? And I think the science to it is a very basic 4 P's of marketing: your science, your data marketing, your media plan. But the art to it is really ability to observe life and understand the intention of someone doing something, and try to create that service or the product or the fit to make life better. All right, insights, which is why I like going for consumer research, because going to consumer research is, I mean, from a one-way mirror you observe people, right? So I mean, you observe life, and I guess part of why I'm good at writing is also P&G trained me to observe consumer. And one trick I learned is that a lot of times what people say, they don't mean it. There's always a meaning behind what people say.
So catch the action, not the words.
Intention, you have to interpret the intention.
Wow.
You have to interpret the intention.
What's the process of your customer research like? The focus group.
We start by objective, depending on what we want to achieve.
Uh-huh.
We could actually do a focus group, which is the one-way mirror. You see how people talk, you touch and feel the product, and they give you feedback, right? And a lot of times you have to catch that subtle verbatim.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, how accurate can it be when you know that you are being watched?
No, they don't know you're watching them sometimes. And it doesn't matter. The other trick is that we do in-house visit. You really go and sit face-to-face with the consumer like this. We talk like friends. And I think sometimes it's about building rapport, right? When you have the rapport and the relationship and they trust you, things come out. I've gone to consumer work where there's so much, right? About they start talking to you about husband problem, like mother-in-law problem. They talk about traditional myths. Based on that, in fact, based on that, last year in Vietnam, we created a campaign called Modern Mom Campaign. Based on the insight that a lot of Vietnamese are very progressive, but they just have this small tug in their heart that should I adhere or follow traditional ways, or should I unleash myself to be the full Vietnamese, full modern mom? You know, that tug of tension. So we actually created this award-winning campaign last year. They won me a couple of awards. Modern mom, basically we tell moms there's no best definition of being a good mom. Every mom, if you do it to your best ability, you are the best mom.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And I think the beauty of marketing sometimes is you need to appeal to the higher emotion or higher needs, right? Because I can go and sell diapers and say diapers is dry and soft and stuff, or I can go and sell diaper and say, hey, we are the brand that is your partner to be in your journey to be a modern mom, or the best mom in your ability.
So we're selling aspirations, dreams.
Hope.
Beautiful. How's P&G doing in Thailand?
Doing very well. It's one of our fastest growing market.
Are there lots of creative campaigns as what you did?
Actually, we do. One of the recent campaign that's done by our hair care team in Thailand. They actually use a transgender. They actually celebrate a transgender story.
Oh, really?
Yeah, imagine transgender women, long hair. They talk about how they were being bullied because they were transgender, and how they overcome hardship in life. I thought that was a good recent example.
Wow.
Yeah, I'll send a link over later.
Wow.
Yeah.
What do you learn? Having work. Are you a regional manager, or
Yeah, I work for a region.
how different is Southeast Asia, by country,
Oh.
and similarities? Are they unifying similarities, or each country have its own? You need to reach out to them individually.
I think consumers or humans as the most basic are all very similar. Right? The needs are very similar. You can always go back to the Maslow hierarchy of needs. But Southeast Asia is a melting pot. We look the same, but each of them have our own unique patterns. And I like to think that a lot of that is being influenced by history. And whatever I'm saying might be a bit of a generalization and a bit of judgmental to it, right? Because I need to simplify. Because we like to say Thai people are very... They have this thing called sabai, means never mind, chill.
Right.
And that's in their life. It's their sabai. Life goes on, very chill, it's okay. Happy group of people. And I really think one of the big reason is that is the only country in Southeast Asia that was never conquered by anyone.
As a result, they don't need to be on their feet.
Yeah. As a result, they historically they have never gone through the hardship of wars. Because if I were to contrast neighboring country, Thailand and Vietnam people, if I were to describe them, extremely progressive. Each of them are the fighter. Driven, opinionated, right? Sometimes to the extent that it felt like they are harsh, but they're not. They're so driven. And again, I could be wrong, but I think a lot of this is the evolvement of going through the hard time from the war. They know that they need to fight for themselves. They know that they need to always ask for more.
So do you have individual country strategy, or do you have a regional strategy?
There's always what I would say is that we localize a big strategy, because strategy should be something that can work across the country, right? So we have a main framework that we think will work across country. Then what we do best is we localize them into the cultural context of the country.
Not just changing of language on the label.
Yeah. The nuances to it. So, for example, in Korea, one of the countries that we handle, right? We know they are such a tense country, such a high competitive, such competitive moms, right? And fun fact, do you know that baby birth spike in January in Korea?
Okay, I'm trying to reverse 10 months earlier. That would be March?
Nothing to do with that. Moms actually plan their birth to give birth to the baby in January, so they have a head start for the rest of the year.
Guess who, man?
That's how competitive they get.
Wow.
Right. So when we communicate the market, we could tell them, hey, good sleep for a baby means good sleep for the baby development. Therefore, your baby have a head start. Therefore, your baby could be a better talent in the future.
Meaning drier diapers.
Drier babies, better sleep, baby, better brain development. Therefore, better future.
Wow.
Now, insight like that actually resonates so well with them,
Uh-huh.
and it resonates even better with a country like them who will plan their birth to give birth in the 1st of January, so that I maximize 365 days.
Right. So if you were to introduce that in Thailand, probably no one cares.
Emotional to it was a lot more the cultural influence to it. I think Thailand's are very communal people. Face. They are very good. They are also very driven by face.
What does it mean?
Society perception.
Okay.
So how do you leverage that look good, don't look as bad as the rest of my friends, kind of social tension.
So these insights are very, very important.
Yeah.
The knowledge and understanding of each culture.
Exactly.
Which plays to your strength. You love observing people.
Exactly. I guess chicken and egg. Perhaps my job in P&G trained me to observe people and cultural nuances.
And what I enjoy, one of the things I enjoy reading about your work is your observation of your bosses. You pick up lessons from them. It must be tremendously pressure being your boss.
No. I've great.
Are they aware of your writing?
They do. If I credit back to them. I've great bosses. I have great bosses in my career. That's one of the big reasons why I'm still here in the same company. This is my first company. I worked in the same company for 8.5 years, now coming to 9 years now.
That is very unusual for millennial.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
But then I guess every year I have a new reason to stay on. Bosses are always part of the big reasons.
You wrote an article about loyalty.
Which one?
I can't remember. But it was a very good article about taking risks, loyalty.
That.
You know, him having or her having your back.
Yes. Long story short, we were embarking on a project that was high risk. I spoke to my boss and I told him, hey, I'm not sure I'll survive this. And I think at that point in time, my boss was trying to make me feel safe and reassured me and say, you do things to your best ability. If it work out, great. If it doesn't work out, we'll have a back. And that has always been my leadership or management philosophy. Actually, I learned this from Simon Sinek, the book called Leader Eat Last. I mean, there's a lot of philosophy in the book, but at the end of the day, it talks about if you're leaders, you bite the bullet. Because the buck stops at you, you bite the bullet, right? And if as a leader you can bite the bullet and you can be the bullet vest for the rest of the team, when people don't have to look at the back to feel safe in the workplace, that's where people will die and be loyal for your work.
You've been fortunate enough to work for leaders.
Yeah, and I try to give back to be that to my team. Sometimes I'll throw them into the sea to make them learn, but I guess at the back of my head I always tell people, the buck stops at me, right? Means if bad things happen on my business or under my care, I need to be the first guy who take responsibility.
Let's shift gear a little bit. I'm interested to learn from you how P&G has adapted itself through this social media revolution. Are you all riding the wave? Are you all creating leadership in this uncharted water?
In social media?
In social media, in the Web 2.0, or is it 5.0 right now? I have no idea. But what are you guys doing in that realm?
We are couple of things. First and foremost, as a marketeer, I always think social media is a big part. Is one part of overall marketing, right? Because we used to. We back then we have telephone marketing, right? Now we have social media. And
is
stuff.
it treated as a mainstream right now? Have you slashed the newspaper advertisement budget in favor of
we have definitely shifted our budget.
Facebook?
Not just Facebook. We have definitely shifted our budget to where the attentions are. Right? Have we moved 100%? No. So there are still countries that TV works well. Right? I mean, in the social media realm, we thought TV would not work, but like it or not, in some countries, even like Japan, TV still works very well.
Right.
One of the main media driver.
So it's driven by the attention, not the trend.
Not trend. I guess end of the day, you need to understand the consumer and how the consumers spend their time. Right? And I think one thing's for sure is their attentions are being more fragmented because you have the ability to spend more time.
Is it more difficult for you as a marketer?
No, definitely. If I look at about 20 years ago, how do you plan a media plan? You make one TV
very
copy.
straightforward.
You make one TV copy, you put it on TV, you spend enough money, you win. Right? Back then it was whoever who have the most media budget wins. But these days things are so scattered. So you need to think multiple touch points. You need to think how and attention are getting so scarce, right? That's number one. And number two, generally consumers are getting more skeptics.
They don't trust.
They don't trust. Which
Rightfully
is why
so.
Which is why the emerging of KOLs, key opinion leaders, influencers. We learned that a proper use of influencers sometimes drive a lot of brand advocates because you come across as semi-original voice kind of stuff.
So if you were to ask me to read a book, I'll buy it. No question asked.
Yes. So I guess it's a currency of trust. Brand voice no longer works as well because people don't trust brand. So I guess it's which is why brand authenticity is very important. Which is why in the new world marketing, how do you cultivate that relationship with your consumers is really important.
So go back to relationship, the old-fashioned way of earning that trust one at a time.
Yes. I think marketing is always about is a lot about that trust, right? Like for now we're talking is as if I'm marketing myself to you too, right?
No, I am marketing myself to you.
Exactly. But if I think about it, see, if I were to distill everything, marketing end of the day is no different with relationship, right? If I know you, if I trust you, if you deliver your job, that means you deliver performance. I'll come back to you, right? I think gone are those days that we can blast media and overwhelm the hell out of people. So I think marketing are moving towards a lot more personalization, a lot more conversational, a lot more customized.
CSR wise, P&G does a lot. Are you involved?
Not full time on my job, yeah. Well, we are quite involved.
What are some of the great things that P&G is doing
For
CSR?
Well, for example, today I just received an email on some of the pro bono projects that we are doing with NGOs in around the world. Oftentimes we do pro bono service as marketers to NGOs on how do we help them to do their marketings. We coach them on marketings. Today I received an email how do we do pro bono HR, human resource and stuff like that. So basically we use what we are good at, we contribute back to NGOs and to the societies. That's one, right? And for example, Pampers, we partner with UNESCO. We have a world famous vaccine program because in certain parts of the world, vaccine is not accessible, right? So we actually sponsor a vaccination program globally, Pampers and UNESCO, to make sure as many babies around the world are vaccinated because vaccine is a basic human rights. So we run CSR on very different scales, but a lot of time it actually links back to our strength. Either we use our brand or use our skill set as marketers.
How have you grown as a person working in P&G?
I would like to think I've grown a lot. Before I joined P&G, I used to be a cocky young kid who are quite arrogant. People still think I'm arrogant. I guess P&G opens up my eye, and it just over the years it makes me humble, or wiser. I guess as you get wiser, you get more humble.
So you learn more about what you don't know.
Yes. And people they hire in P&Gs are great people, great talents, great leaders. I learned so much from these people.